Let's bring in David Asman, Fox business anchor, and Tyrus, Fox News contributor and Fox Nation host. Great to have both of you with us. Thank you very much. I find this so intriguing. And I posted earlier some work that Tom Coburn did a long time ago where he used to do this waste report, senator from Oklahoma, and he outlined all of this garbage that the government spends money on. Just a couple of quick examples. Russian cat research. NIH awarded $540 million to a Russian lab to study cats. Empty federal buildings is one that I think we just touched on because there's so many federal workers who don't show up and haven't shown up since COVID to work in their jobs. So that seems pretty easy to get rid of them. But there is so much resistance against this. And I confronted a little bit of it when I talked to Larry Summers a week or so ago. And I told him that Musk says you can cut $2 trillion out of government spending. And watch what he said.
Respectfully, I think it's idiotic. Okay. It's not a serious statement. Where are they going to cut it out of? Even if you took all the employees, every single person who works for the federal government out, you couldn't save anything like $2 trillion. Maybe what they're saying is that they plan to cut Social Security benefits. Maybe what they're saying is that they plan to scale back Medicare.
So that is the scare tactic that keeps us from ever cutting anything, because as soon as you suggest it, as Larry Summers says, oh, it's such an idiotic idea, it could never happen. As soon as you start suggesting it, they go, oh, no, it's Social Security and Medicare. Don't touch it. But it's not. There's so much more there. Right, David?
Well, and we've been here before. There was the Grace Commission back in the 1980s, and they came out with a whole list of stuff that should be cut. It added up to about $400 billion, which in today's money is just about that $2 trillion that Elon was talking about. By the way, Larry Summers was right. It was right before the election, and he was electioneering more than anything. He knows that there's money there that can be cut out, and there's a lot of it that can be cut out. And unlike the 1980s, when the Grace Commission tried and failed to do it, now you have this incredible inclusion of people who can spread the news, not only in terms of getting people to sign up for this. By the way, the Grace Commission was paid for by donations. It was not government money, and I assume the same thing will be done here.
Yeah, sounds like it is.
But you think of the power of Elon Musk and all of the media influence that he has and the other people that are involved in this, and what we have seen, like the Department of Education. A lot of people, oh, you can't touch the Department of Education because it's so valuable. The mission statement of the Department of Education, I'm going to read it. You're not going to believe it. ED's mission is to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness by fostering educational excellence. I tell you, it has failed miserably in that mission statement. Yeah. And the more we pay for it, the lower the test scores go. So I think there's a lot of things that can be cut.
Because we know where our students rank, and we know they're failing at their mission. Tyrus, this is Eric Adams. I thought this was interesting. Let's hear what he had to say about it. Democratic mayor of New York City. Watch. Oh, looks like that is frozen. So he said one of the people I think is most important to bring on board, some people may argue, is Elon Musk. We have to move away from the rotary dial age, move into the smartphone age. Government has to change. It's not serving people correctly. Is this an awakening moment or not?
No, I think the awakening is we pretty soon we'll be calling him Republican Mayor Adams. I think that's where this is probably going. Listen, the biggest cry in this, that ridiculous so-called intellectual speech that man gave about how it would come after Social Security, that's not what it's going to come after. It's going to come after people who are unqualified, who get placed in these jobs, and they get all kinds of money behind them. So what this is one of the biggest parts of draining the swamp. You're no longer going to be able to give lobbyists, family members jobs. You're no longer going to be able to load up things on the back end and people get it on this, that, whatever. So this is why they're afraid. The establishment government is terrified because their way of life is going to change. Now what they're doing is a great start, but with the Senate and the House, there should be no problem for President Trump to truly drain the swamp and to truly make change. Term limits. So you get term limits with Elon and Vivek, two guys who can't be bought, can't be bribed, have no reason, don't have a nephew that needs to be a lobbyist or needs to go work in China to oversee engineering stuff that they're not qualified for. So this is a big step in the right direction. So the louder the people that are yelling and complaining, those are the ones you should be looking under the
Can
microscope.
I just say that this could also be a primer for local governments, because as we know here in New York, they know it in LA, they know it in Chicago, local governments have expanded just as much percentage-wise, and they are spending money left and right and interfering with our lives. So maybe what the feds do will spill over into the local governments.
You know what? We have to be hopeful about this, because no matter what party you're in, this is something that would lower your taxes ultimately, because spending in the government would be reduced because they are wasting enormous amounts of our hard-earned taxpayer money. I thought it was hilarious that Senator Elizabeth Warren said of DOJ, oh, it's off to a great start. 2 people to do the work of 1 person. Yeah, seems really efficient.
What has she created in her life?
You know how much
She's about integrity. She's pushing integrity.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so much
She's on the
redundancy
warpath,
in the federal government. These 2 guys, it's going to take way more than 2 people to pull this off if they can actually get to it. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank
Tyrus
you.
and David, great to see you as always.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.